Hello everyone, welcome to HazardScape. This video is about a resilience-based risk assessment tool that we are developing so your community or organization can monitor and update its risk profile in real time. And we're not just talking about natural hazards, IT risks, we're talking also about social fabric, relation risk, and resilience, meaning the social ties within your community, your organization, with your partners, stakeholders, rights holders, different groups. We're also including that into your resilience assessment. So I'm going to dive right into this tool. And if you're interested in wanting to try this out or take a little bit of a deeper dive or have some feedback, please put it in the comments, or you can always email us at support@hazardscape.com or DM us through our Patreon. All right. So this is the main dashboard. I'm already logged in. When you get to the tool, you'll click on new assessment and you'll just put in some very basic information here. I don't want to do that because I'm going to show you the test assessment that I've already filled out. And what this basically is, it's just a questionnaire that does a summarization and report of all of the data and information that's been inputted. And it gives you a resilience score at the end. This up here, the overall progress just says 100% of the 48 questions are answered. By section, we've reported, we've answered all the questions. And then we've got our analysis button at the bottom. So all you do, simply click on the arrow. That brings down the list of questions under value creating processes. And a lot of the questions here are pretty basic. You know, what are your organization's core functions or services? So that can include services such as community support services, youth services, public works, right down to finance, human resources, facility operations, security, whatever it is. And if you're not quite sure what that question might mean, there is a little tab here for you to expand the question for a little bit more direction. But under the value creating processes, there's 11 questions. You know, what does success look like for your organization or community? Who are your primary stakeholders? Where does emergency management and OH&S fit in your organization or strategic plan? That's all under value creating processes. What else do we got? Learning culture competencies. What kind of training do staff have access to? Is there a process for updating standard operating procedures based on experiences and learning? How do new hires learn from past mistakes or incidents that predate them? So sharing that knowledge that can hold so much information on what to do the next time something happens. We'll look at interdependency and complexity. What happens if the partners that you identified fail in showing up? How do you coordinate and share risk information with outside agencies or community partners? And then under culture and community, you know, how are local knowledge and traditional practices included in your risk planning? And are elders or knowledge keepers consulted in defining what is truly a risk? So this is, it's just a questionnaire. Click on that blue button when you're done, and you get a report or results. And this is just simply a dashboard. You're going to see that out of 100, this test organization scored 48 out of 100, which means it's developing resilience. This little spider web chart here just means that the dots that are kind of out on the outside the most are the ranked the best, and if they're closer to the middle, they're not as good. So community and culture score is an 8. Value creating process is a 7, while interdependence and complexity and monitoring practices are a 3, meaning this organization is not doesn't have the systems in place to monitor for risks, slow burn risks, or deal with events or anticipate events that they might not be prepared for. Then we just get into a short executive summary. This just shows the session or the section scores for each that are aligned to that spider web. And then you get into the priority issues, recommendations, and a SWOT analysis, which is SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. There's different models of SWOT. There's political factors. There's a political SWOT. That can all be incorporated into this if you would rather have that information. But yeah, at the end of the day, no monitoring or early warning system for emerging risks. No formal risk acceptance or mitigation framework. Those are kind of the priorities. Then you get into recommendations with specific actions. Develop a comprehensive risk register and treatment plan. Create a formal risk register. Develop a partner failure contingency and financial contingency plan. I'll move that up. We're right here. Co-design culturally grounded emergency preparedness with elders. And establish an early warning or leading indicator dashboard. So, a lot of these, because this one scored low in monitoring, that's obviously some of the priorities are going to be. But the nice thing about this tool is, one, you can update it whenever you make a change in the organization. So you just go back to edit, bring your drop-down list, enter in new information. So let's say you do update the EM and OH&S role in your strategic plan and it's mentioned. You can describe that in here, run a new analysis, and it will readjust your priorities and reporting to show that change. And every change that happens, you can just go in here, make that shift, and it will update to either, show that you're moving to be more resilient, or maybe you're setting, you have a setback and maybe your resilience is kind of dropped off a little bit. So this can be used for funding. It can be used for board or chief and council updates. It can be used for staff as a tool to say, hey, we're going to work on this and we're going to do training because we need to address this within our resilience assessment. So really powerful communication tool, tracking tool, project tracking, and funding request tool. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, put them in the comment. If you have suggestions, put them in there. DM us directly, or again, email support@hazardscape.com. Know your hazardscape. Stay prepared.